Hey everybody, it's Roamin Rich. Good to see you. It's 66 minutes with Roamin Rich. You've been looking forward to this all week, haven't you? Well, this is episode number 13, and I'm proud to say we've been going for 13 weeks straight. This is impressive. I haven't committed this well since I got married to my wife, so I'm on to something good here. I hope you enjoy it. And by the way, speaking of my wife, happy Mother's Day. And to all you wonderful, beautiful mothers out there, happy Mother's Day to you as well. And I hope you enjoyed your beautiful Sunday out. So anyway, this is 66 Minutes with Roamin Rich. We talked for about an hour about Route 66, all topics. And in case you haven't noticed, today is an open studio. I don't have any guests. And not only do I not have any guests, but I also don't have any production staff. It's just me all by myself, solo tonight. So bear with me. I hope you're patient for the little pauses and gaps that we're going to experience. But hey, that's all part of it. This is live, unscripted. You can find us here 7 p.m. every Sunday. And this is something I've always wanted to do for a long time. All right. So I'm going to throw a little link up here. You can see up at the top corner of your screen there that we've got this QR code. That's 66 Minutes with Roamin Rich. That directs you to our Facebook group. But I'm also going to open up a link here in just a second to join me. So let's see here. Where do we find that at? Let's see here. Actually, right there. Yeah. You can join me right now. Get your microphone, get your camera ready, come on aboard, and we can talk about anything you want about Route 66. I'll let you in the back door here, and we'll get going with the studio. But until that happens, until somebody comes around, I'm going to talk about a few things that have happened over the last week. Last week was my birthday, and I turned 30-something. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm not going to tell you how old I really turned. I'm just going to go with wishful thinking on this. In addition to that, though, we did manage to accomplish something. And I'm going to share my screen here in just a moment. I'm so happy about this. This is something I've been struggling to fight for years. And finally, it's going to happen. I'm so happy about this. So let's bring it up here. The Webb City florist sign. Yes. We have finally raised enough money to make this thing happen. And so we raised somewhere around $4,000, a little bit more than that, $4,500. And I think we needed $6,500, but the owner, Courtney Smith, she's going to be kicking in some extra money there to get this going. So we are going to have another neon relighting ceremony this year. Aren't you excited? We just had one in Oklahoma a couple months ago, and that was a lot of fun. So now this fall, we can look forward to having another one in Webb City, Missouri. Should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see this sign relit. The very first time I saw it was probably this photo that you see up there on the screen. I was just so in awe and looking forward to see that thing lit back up again. And even cooler is that this is still a functional business. This business is still going strong today. It's under new ownership from when I first stumbled on it. A gal named Courtney Smith. She's a younger gal, a small business owner. She's in her 30s, and she's just as excited about this as I am. And so it's going to be fantastic. I always love getting something going for our community. I do have a guest with us tonight. Looks like Elizabeth Olwig has signed up for us, and we're going to bring her in here in just a second. Before I do that, though, I'm going to cover my shirt of the week. And I don't have a picture to show you. I'm just going to have to stand up and model it for you. I hope you don't mind my gut. So here it is. It's the Merrimack Bridge in Eureka, Missouri. And this shirt is kind of old. I think this shirt dates back to about 2015. The gal that designed the shirt, she's a really good artist. I know her and Ed Klein were doing a lot of collaborative work together, and I really like this shirt. I don't see too many green Route 66 shirts, and I like green, so this is why this is one of my favorite shirts. And the Merrimack River Bridge is going to be up and in use at some point here, I think before 2026, as a pedestrian bridge. It's going to be integrated into the Missouri State Park system, and so that bridge is safe. When I first got this shirt, we weren't so sure what was going to happen with the bridge, but that bridge is safe for right now. I'm also going to throw the chat up on here as well. Looks like okay, yeah, we got some people up here. How do I do the overlay? There it is. All right, we're going to bring in Elizabeth right now, and here she is. Hi there.
Hi, how's it going?
Going great.
Good. No, I love your shirt. I was just talking at work at the History Museum yesterday. Elizabeth from Great Rivers Greenway was there, and we were talking about. Yes.
Yep, I like her a lot. She's a great gal.
Yep, we were talking about that bridge. So.
Yep, well, that's cool.
Yes.
I almost wore the same shirt that you're wearing today. Actually, I did wear that shirt today, and I thought, I'm gonna go green.
Well, we appreciate that.
So what's going on, Elizabeth? What's on your mind?
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about our motor tour, because I have just been super busy. I haven't been able to publicize much about it, but we've been making a lot of progress in our plans. And since I've been slacking on emails, I thought this would be the easiest way to get some information out there to people, in case folks were interested in signing up for it. And I know some people that watch are already signed up, so I can give you some updates. So a lot of folks already know we're starting in Litchfield, and we do have, the night before the tour starts, we've got the Skyview Drive-In is providing a complimentary movie viewing for us, and potentially a cruise around the town for all of our fun cars. Then we are also including in the tour, there's going to be a riverboat cruise down by the Arch. We've also got included in there, let's see, entry to the Museum of Transportation in Kirkwood. We have as well now planned a, I guess, party, family picnic kind of thing at the Red Cedar Inn. They're going to be reopened by then as well. And that will be fun for all of our visitors or attendees from last year who were able to see it at the very beginning of their renovations, to see a before and after. That will be very exciting. I'm looking forward to
this is going to be, I'm really looking forward to this motor tour, because we're crossing state lines. That's always exciting. I like that. We did that a couple of years ago and went from Oklahoma back into Missouri. That was a lot of fun. But this time, we're starting off in Litchfield, and not only are we starting off in Litchfield, which is one of my favorite Route 66 towns, but we're getting to take in a drive-in movie. And that was one of the more requested things I've seen from people over the years, is can we actually take on a drive-in movie? So it was so nice of the previous owners of the Skyview and the new owners of the Skyview to extend that offer to us. We're going to get to see a movie, and we're going to get to experience a small town cruising, aren't we? Some sort of they call it Parade of Lights. Is that correct?
Yes. That is what they call it in their town. And can you correct George? He's got the wrong motor tour QR code up there.
Oh, that was me.
Oh.
George is here.
Oh.
There it is. Sorry, I saw motor tour. I clicked on it. Oh, George is probably laughing right now. He's at a graduation. That's why him and his son George couldn't make it. I'm glad you noticed that. So
okay.
We're signing up people for Texas and Missouri. We're hitting the whole route.
Yeah, she called it the Parade of Lights. I told you, I believe that refers to headlights.
Yeah.
But yeah, just everyone cruising around town in a big parade, basically showing off your cars. And there's, they've reserved areas of the parking lot for us. And I believe there's also a car club from another country joining us that night as well. And I cannot remember off the, yeah.
So
going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited.
It's going to be, for those of you out there, click on that link and just check it out. At least you don't have to sign up. We would like for you to sign up because it's going to be quite an event. This is unlike any other normal motor tour we've ever done. It's very unique because we're doing the drive-in movie. We're doing the cruise in, and Elizabeth's doing a great job here. She's putting on a lot of cool stuff for $50. You just can't get a better value for your money because you're getting the drive-in movie. You're going to get a riverboat cruise. I've never done a riverboat cruise on St. Louis or on the Mississippi River in St. Louis. I've never done that. Been here. I won't tell you for how many years, but we'll just say 30-something years, like I said earlier. And I've never been out on a riverboat in St. Louis. I've always wanted to. I'm very excited, looking forward to doing that. And then we're going to the Museum of Transportation, which is always a great treat. There's tons of great exhibits there. And they have the new Westward Ho neon sign there that they just recently restored and put up. So I'm looking forward to see that. And then we end up in Cuba, which is another great Route 66 town in Missouri. It's going to be an awesome time.
Well, in Cuba also, Patrick Weir from Weir on 66, he is putting on for us, and this is optional. People don't have to go. That night in his parking lot, he is going to have the movie Cars on for us while serving dinner, and he's providing popcorn for people. He said he just really wanted to be involved in the tour this year.
He's a good guy. We ran into him at Cuba the last time we were there, and super neat guy. He took over for his sister. Oh gosh, I just escaped me. Not Patricia. Darn it. Well, his sister did the restoration job there on the old Phillips station there on the corner of 19 and 66 in Cuba. They did a fantastic job. And Joni. And it's just a great place, great food, great people. And I love going there too. So that'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Anything else about the motor tour people should know about before I move on?
Well, our first night, we are staying in St. Louis. We'll be at the Route 66 Southwest Holiday Inn in Sunset Hills. And that is going to be newly renovated at the time. Let's see, the restored Park Plaza neon sign will be installed there also. So we'll be able to see that.
Did you confirm that? Is that going to be a fact?
Well, Phil said it was going to be done by the time.
Cool.
That's the last time I spoke to him, I should say a month ago, he said it would be up. So we'll double check before the date, but
lots of neon stuff going on the road. I'm happy to see it. We got to catch up with those folks down there in Oklahoma and Tulsa. They kind of set the bar for neon preservation and resurrection.
Right.
Well, that's good.
And there is a special rate. We got like an amazing rate for our Route 66 attendees of the motor tour who plan on staying there that night. So very happy about that too. So you're definitely go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's going to be a great time because there's a lot of social atmosphere. And I think that people who come, they're repeat tourists that come in and do the motor tour with us, they come a lot of the times for that social activity. You're getting to meet people from all over the country, and it's just a great little gathering of kindred spirits, so to speak, and people have a really good time, and I look forward to it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm very excited, especially to get St. Louis involved. People don't appreciate Route 66 in St. Louis enough. So yeah,
that's a difficult one, but we're going to make it happen. Just like the bus tours that you and Joe put on are fantastic too. I mean, that was just, I got to tell you, for all the things you can do up and down Route 66, that would be neat if someone would replicate that in, say, downtown Los Angeles, or maybe Chicago, but St. Louis is different. It was a neat trip too. So I hope you and Joe consider doing those in the future too.
Most definitely. We had so much fun. We got so much great feedback. We'll definitely do those again at some point.
Yeah. Well, I want to extend an invitation out there to the viewers again. Please share this video and feel free to come on here, because I've got kind of a sensitive subject that I'd like to talk about with people here in just a little bit. I mentioned the birthday that I had last week, but previous to me, Ramona Layman had a birthday, and we all know Ramona from the Munger Moss, and she had some health issues. She's been kind of going up and down. So she had fallen and broken her hip just, I think, the day before or the day of her birthday, the poor gal. And so right now, they have postponed her birthday celebration to the 28th at 1 p.m., and I believe it's going to be at the Munger Moss. You can go online and just kind of do a search for Ramona Layman's birthday party, or just take a screenshot of this or something, take a picture of it. She was originally supposed to have her party on the 7th. She had a little issue with her hip, but now I think she's getting around a little bit better. And on May 28th at the Munger Moss, Shelly is going to be putting on a birthday party for her. You really need to come by, because Ramona's a great woman. She's really just put her whole life into this motel, and she would surely love to see everybody over there celebrating her birthday and celebrating the Munger Moss with her. And I know she would really appreciate that. So we definitely need to shower her with our love and our praise, and stop in and see her on the 28th, 1 p.m., Memorial Day weekend at the Munger Moss Motel. So let's see, what else do I have on my list here? So something. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna throw that carrot out there. We got a big, sensitive topic I really want to get into. Let me throw that chat back up here too, because I'm afraid I'm missing stuff. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I just got to scroll up through here, make sure I didn't see anything. Someone liked the shirt. Someone asked about what is the latest on the American Giants Museum in Atlanta, Illinois. I've seen some posts on Facebook about that. I'm sure they're doing work on it, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on and how far they are. And I'm sure they're making good progress on it. And really, I'm excited to see it in Atlanta. It probably couldn't be in a more fitting place, because they've already got the hot dog man there. So that's a great place. Let's see here. Somebody asked if the program was dropping out, but I don't. For us, I don't think it is. You're not having any issues, are you, Elizabeth?
No,
I don't think so. I've got a pretty good connection here today. Okay, there's some wishes there for Ramona and stuff. So, okay. The sensitive topic I really wanted to talk about was it's this bantering that kind of goes back and forth on Facebook, and it gets people riled up. It's not the first time I've seen people get a little heated in this. But before I go into it, should I reveal it or should I wait? I want to keep people in suspense. Oh, what the heck? We'll just go ahead. So the question is it on Route 66? That's the question. And we say it. What is it? Well, anything that is somewhat detached from Route 66, literally not setting right on the highway or one of the highway alignments. If it's not setting directly on the highway, is it considered a Route 66 attraction? And I've got my answer, but I'd like to hear from some of the people out there in Facebook land what they think, because there's a lot of great stuff in and around Route 66. So the chat is open, and I want to know, there's a few things that we can mention. Is it on 66? The first one I would like to bring up would be one of my favorites. It's in Oklahoma, the Foil Totem Pole Park. And I'll show some video and stuff of this later. I'm going to kind of go down the whole list of things that I've thought of, and I'm sure people out there have thought of some other ones. If you think of something that I haven't thought of, please put it in the chat. The Big Texan Steakhouse, is it on Route 66? Is it considered a Route 66 an attraction? Merrimack Caverns. Is Merrimack Caverns a Route 66 attraction? Red Oak 2 in Carthage, Missouri. Would that be considered a Route 66 attraction? And finally, last but not least, certainly, the Grand Canyon. Is that a Route 66 attraction? I want to see some people in the chat. I've got Rita Kirchhoff here. She has also tuned in. She's going to be a treat. All three of us together were like the Three Musketeers who go out there and tackle the Shamrock ever so often. Let's go for that. Pat Brenner also says Meteor Crater. That's another one. I'm gonna write that down. Meteor Crater. And then another person mentioned docks off 66 in Girard. Not on 66, but is it a 66 attraction? Okay, let's bring in Rita. There's Rita. How's it going?
Hey guys. Good. How are you guys doing? Hi, Elizabeth.
Doing good. So, ladies, I rattled off the list. What do you think about all those different attractions? Do some of them qualify? Are some of them too far off 66? Do any of them qualify? What do you gals think?
I mean, my personal feeling is yes, they're Route 66 attractions. I don't think you have to be exactly there on the road. I don't even know exactly how to justify my feelings about that. The only one I would put as, I don't know if I would call it a Route 66 attraction. Maybe a side trip would be the Grand Canyon. But yeah, that's.
Rita, what do you think?
I think they're all just off 66 and they're all valuable, memorable places to attend. And I think they're all great attractions that everybody driving Route 66 should actually go to. So I say they're attractions along or near 66. So.
Yeah. Somebody else mentioned the Outsider's House. Honestly, I've never heard of that. Church
It's
Studio.
the house it's in Tulsa. You have to know what that is. It's in Tulsa where the movie The Outsiders was filmed.
You know what? I've heard of that, but I don't think I've been there. I'm going to Google that. Outsider's House later. I may have been there. Sometimes my memory gets the best of me. I've never been to the Woody Guthrie. I think it's a museum. Somebody mentioned Las Vegas. Honestly, I don't think Las Vegas qualifies. I think it's way too far off 66. I agree with Elizabeth as it pertains to the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is a good side trip, but I would never consider it to be part of Route 66. It's just way too far away. Las Vegas, New Mexico. Actually, Las Vegas, New Mexico, me personally, I don't consider it to be a part of Route 66, but I consider it to be a travesty if you do the Santa Fe Loop and you don't stop and see Las Vegas, New Mexico, because what a brilliant little town. I love Las Vegas, New Mexico. It's one of my favorite towns in all of New Mexico. It's also where the movie Red Dawn was shot, and back in the 80s, one of my favorite movies growing up, Red Dawn. And the town hasn't changed much since then. I love that town. What about the Big Texan? Big Texan's kind of that's the hot button right there. That's the one a lot of people get riled up over, is the Big Texan. I've heard people refer to it as a two-bit, tourist trap and lots of other derogatory names. But me personally, I think Big Texan is definitely a place you should stop at if you're touring Route 66. especially for the first time, because like Sean Fowler up there mentioned in his chat, it embodies the great American road trip. What do you guys think?
I mean, I personally didn't stop there. I won't say it was because it wasn't on the route. It wasn't on my list. Again,
Big Texan?
Yeah, I had limited time. I'm also not a steakhouse person, but no, it's like, I'll agree with Sean. It's all part of, just that nostalgic, historic road trip for you. And there's no way I would have missed the Totem Pole Park or Red Oak 2.
Yeah, or Merrimack Caverns for that matter. We know
Right.
we've done that on the motor tour, and it's several miles off of Route 66.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Big Texan is, how can you not just really kind of get off and be hooked into that kind of tourist trap kitsch? I mean, Danny knows he's got a tourist trap. Not to say that like they sell bad food or anything. The food that they sell is okay. It's decent. I've had better. I've had worse. It's definitely part of the experience. I wouldn't say it's not worth it. It's not priced terribly bad. But when you go in there, you see the shooting gallery, and you got the big giant rocking chair that you can sit in and pose with, and they've got the people with the music and stuff running around, and the guitars playing. I mean, it's just it's
an atmosphere.
Six Flags a tourist trap? Cadillac Ranch, somebody mentioned that. Is it on 66? I mean, yeah, it's kind of on 66.
I'd say it is, but you have to just walk off the road to get there.
Yeah, well, in the Cadillac Ranch stirs up some feelings. We've got John Lowen here with us again. We're going to bring him in to see what he thinks. Him and his counterpart, I think, Elizabeth, right? We got two Elizabeths here tonight. Let's see here. Let's bring them in. Good evening. Hi there.
Good evening again.
Good evening, Roamin Rich. We've not.
So what do you guys think about what we discussed here about Route 66 attractions?
We've been plugging in stuff, trying to get her.
We've only been to Missouri.
Yeah, I took her R50. We took it outdoors to do so she could read some of her stories and record it. And it didn't want to come back into the software. I couldn't get the camera working. So we're playing around with that. Got it working. It works now. I'm not going to bump anything, so it won't disconnect. And I wanted to let you know.
So what do you, if you guys have only done Missouri, have you guys been to Merrimack Caverns? Have you done that? Have you been to Red Oak 2 or any of that stuff?
No.
I may have been there on a vacation as a kid, but don't recall. I was young then.
Is it on your bucket list moving forward?
Oh yeah, we got
Definitely.
a big bucket. So yeah, there's a lot on our bucket list.
I've got some things on deck here. I want to show the viewers. Let me see here. Let me get to my stuff here. Merrimack Caverns side trip. Hold on. Let me pause you guys just for a second. I'm gonna share my screen here. Let's see here. Okay. So Merrimack Caverns. I don't know if that's going to play or not. Hold on, I got the wrong thing there. This is the bummer of not having George with me. Let's see. I'm gonna try this. There we go. Okay. So this is a video. Again, kind of a tourist trap. Lester Dill spun up the whole tale and the lore of Jesse James and the Outlaws hiding in the cave at Merrimack Caverns, which is located probably 3 to 5 miles off of Route 66. So there's Jesse and his brother, hiding out in the cave. So that's just one of the stops. And we talk about, say, the Big Texan. I can bring that video up next year. They got the big giant steak that they talk about. Let's get that up here. So there they are making the steaks. I mean, just just going there is an experience. I mean, you're in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. Look at those giant steaks they're cooking up. And those aren't even the 72-ounce contest steaks. Those are probably 26 ounces. So I don't know. I'm interested. I want to see some people. I want to see some people argue this. I want to see some people that are against the Big Texan or Merrimack Caverns, Red Oak 2, any of those. I want to see them chime in and give us their opinion as to why they shouldn't be considered Route 66 stops for people.
Well, Rich, here, someone I just saw in the chat just said no on Merrimack Caverns. I look back to way back in the 30s and 40s when all of those barns were painted with Merrimack Caverns signage and all that. And they were trying to get people on Route 66 to stop way back then. They were considered even a Route 66 attraction.
Well, right. They're credited. They're credited to being one of the first trading posts to do the tie-on bumper stickers. I know Cindy had talked about the Jackrabbit doing that, and I'm sure maybe somebody stole the idea from somebody, but about the same time they were doing these tie-on bumper stickers. Yeah,
I wrote a report on that. They are credited as being the inventor of they were bumper signs. They had boys that would go out to people's cars when they were inside, when people were inside taking tours, that would tie on these signs to people's bumpers so they'd be there when you left.
Yeah, and Debbie mentions that the Big Texan, Debbie from Seligman, she mentions the Big Texan starting off on an original alignment of Route 66, which I know to be a fact. In Amarillo, the original Big Texan, the original building that the Big Texan started off in, it's still there. So it started off as a Route 66 institution, but like many businesses, so let's think about the Ariston in Litchfield. Where did the Ariston start out? Did it start off in Litchfield? Anybody?
No.
Where did it start out at?
I cannot remember exactly where the original building is, but I have pictures of it, and it's more of a dark brown greenish color than it.
Rita, do you know where the original Ariston was started off at?
I feel like Penny and I just talked about this, and it was Carlinville.
Yep, it is Carlinville. Right there on the square is where and what happened? So why did they move? They moved because Route 66 moved in the early to mid 30s from that Route 4 alignment over to the east to where I-55 is roughly today. So like any smart businessman, what do? You move your business with the road. And that's what the Big Texan did. The Big Texan started on Route 66. And then later on, when the interstate came about, they moved their business. And it's a good thing because I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be in business today had they not moved.
Well, didn't the log cabin, the old log cabin or whatever in Pontiac?
Yeah.
Didn't they turn it around or something to face?
They spun it because, and that's a fun one. I wish I had the footage on that, but in Pontiac, Illinois, where the log cabin little cafe's at, there is a section of old original Route 66 Portland cement running past the back side of the building. It's somewhat buried under debris, but if you go back there and kick rocks, you can find it. So what they did when they moved the 4-lane 66 out on the other side of the log cabin, what would have been on the back side, they supposedly picked the building up and they spun it around. I don't know if that's true or not, but they definitely moved the entrance. And the Ariston in Litchfield did the same thing. Yeah. The Ariston had moved their entrance at one time too to the back, and then when I-55 bypassed everything, they moved it back to the front side. Justin brings up a great point. Look at Glen Rio. Businesses didn't move, and none of them are there today. So
that is good.
That's a very solid point. No, nobody debating. I was really looking forward to somebody coming on here and scanning that QR code and joining us and being like, no, No, Merrimack Caverns is not a Route 66 stop. Red Oak isn't on Route 66 and should never be considered. That's what I was really looking forward to. I feel like predominantly the consensus amongst most roadies and most people going out to tour Route 66, whether it be their first time or their 10th time, they're going to consider everything we mentioned to be somewhat in the family of Route 66. You know, Docks in Girard, Illinois, it's not even a block off 66. It's just a half a block off 66. It's just, you know, the front of it's on the square. It's just, you know, you could throw a rock and hit it from 66.
Okay, look at that comment. So I guess according to that person, no business founded after 1960 should be considered a Route 66 business?
That's another toughie. So that sort of attitude about things, and it doesn't tell us who it was, but generally I hear that sort of sentiment coming from older people, baby boomers usually. Well, if it wasn't part of Route 66 then, it's not part of 66 now. But what do you say to people like Mary Beth Babcock, who staked their claim on Route 66 and started a new business? Or, well, if that's the case, what about the Blue Whale? We should throw it out too, because Route 66 was not really designated through there, to my knowledge, I don't think, when Hugh built it for Zelta. I think it just happened to be an alignment of 66, but I think it was already done bypassed by the time he built it in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I'm sorry, is it Jorge or George Mendez? A couple comments.
Well, the English pronunciation would be George, but
right.
I would say Jorge.
Okay. Jorge. A couple comments before that. He asked you how long before Route 66 like officially dies or disappears or something like that. Which, I mean, I'm not going to answer that, but
hopefully never.
Yeah, that's. I just don't want to get into a debate about that. But because I don't want to hear certain people say, "Whoa, it's going to be gone in 2 years," when no, I don't agree with that. But if you have people who have that attitude, like that last commenter, and say, you know, well, your business wasn't built, you know, before 1950, so it doesn't count as a Route 66 business, then Route 66 is going to disappear.
Well, I've got a lot of good responses to all those statements. So the same people that would say, well, if it wasn't around in the 50s or 60s, and that's not what that Facebook user said, but I've seen people who have said, well, if it wasn't around in the 50s or 60s, it's not part of Route 66. And I would say to them, well, what would the people from the 1920s or 30s say about the stuff from the 1950s or 60s? Because that's a completely different alignment and a completely different era. And so building off of that question or statement, and anybody who's ever watched me for any sort of time over the years, 66 is an evolution.
Right.
You lose some things, you gain some things. And yeah, we're losing a lot of things, but we're also gaining a lot of things. So we can't save absolutely everything. We're trying to save a lot. But I think it all comes down to the small town mentality. You know, it doesn't have to be on Route 66 to be important. There's people creating destination style businesses all over the United States that are in the little old small towns that have been bypassed or skirted around by a bigger highway or something. And so there's people creating these destinations all over the country. And when I go out personally, and I go out roaming the countryside, that's the kind of stuff I look for. It's not just 66, it's small town America. And I think as long as people can rely on things like Google Maps and TripAdvisor and those sorts of review-driven platforms, it's always the David versus Goliath situation. It's the small mom and pop versus the big corporation. Well, the small mom and pop with those reviews, it's like the slingshot that took out Goliath. And we're starting to see a lot more of these little mom and pops flourish and thrive. And I think that's what 66 is about. It's about thriving. It's about getting your passion out there and investing in your passion, showing it out to everybody. And if it's good, people will buy it.
Yeah, Rich. You're familiar with the Motorheads in Illinois.
Yes.
Would you consider that more of a Goliath? I don't know the people that run it, but
no, he's a small mom and pop.
But I would go there.
Ron Metzger, that's his. It's not a corporation. It's not like a Buc-ee's or any of those. I mean, those are all good too. I mean, those places embody the road trip too. But
how long has that been around?
This is one man's vision. Ron Metzger's done a fabulous job. He was on a couple episodes ago, totally spontaneously. None of that was scripted. I went to his place. I was hosting a tour group of Kiwis from New Zealand that were doing 66, and they just happened to stop there. I was with them, and I had to do the show. Just happened to be during showtime, so I ran around and was showing stuff as well as I could. I was very unprepared, and just ran into Ron, and he's got bigger and better plans all the time. He's going to put an even bigger Route 66 sign out there, he says, before the end of the year. Uh-oh. Cops are coming.
We're looking for somebody.
So yeah, Ron's totally a mom and pop. He's a mom and pop that maybe has some deep pockets, but he's got something all unique to his own that nobody else has. He's got a whole conglomeration, a collection of lots of different Springfield Route 66 artifacts that he's kind of, I won't use the word hoard. That's a bad word, but he's creating a safe haven for the public to come in and enjoy these things. Neon signs, old memorabilia from previous owners that have come and gone on 66 in Springfield. So he's doing a great thing there.
Yeah, I'd like to get over there and see it. A friend of mine stopped by there recently and posted some photos from his visit. But that's over in Illinois, so it's it's a little weekend visit for us. So I think we'll try and make it over there. Elizabeth's wireless headset just died, didn't it? We forgot to charge it. That's why. So, hey, if you wanted to take a telephone caller or two, I can bring them in with my audio. Let's see.
I think we're good doing what we're doing here, John.
Okay.
I think we keep the link up there, and if people want to use the link, I just would prefer to do that. I think
sounds good. I've never tried this out, quote, on air. It's all hooked up. I assume it'll work, but maybe sometime if you want to give that a try, we can.
Yeah. I would like to cover the tip of the week, so I'm gonna kind of rearrange my feed here off screen. Let me get that pulled up. Where is it at? Okay. Oh, you know what? I've got it right here on deck. I forgot. So I'm going to play a very special video for some of you, and I hope some of you don't get freaked out. It's a great video from one of my deep explorations back in, I want to say, 2014. And I'm going to put that up there right now, and then we're going to talk about the tip of the week after you watch this quick little video. It's about a minute long. Hey, it's Roamin Rich. I'm out here in New Mexico, just south of Santa Fe. Wanted to let you know, be safe when you're out exploring these old roads, because you never know when predators are lurking the grasslands here. Kyle Anybody spooked?
almost stepped on this big old rattlesnake, and
Whoa.
he is pissed. He is not happy. He's about
keep an eye on him. He's right there in the center of your screen.
long. And he's not a happy camper.
Watch this, folks.
Shit.
Oh.
Look at
That's
him.
me jumping in my truck.
He
Now,
ain't
for any of
messing
you who want to
around,
watch
so-
that, you can go to my YouTube
Yeah.
channel
You want to be very, very alert
just
with what
just
you're doing.
type in Route 66
Even-
rattlesnake. That
Even
guy
on
will
open
pop
ground
up.
like we were just at.
Checking out your wheel.
Watch
And
out for
so-
snakes.
I want to talk about that guy for a little bit. It's not my first encounter I've ever had with a rattlesnake, and so for those of you who have never ventured off out into the Southwest, depending on the time of year you're going, if you're going, say, November through February, you're probably okay. You're probably not going to have any encounters with snakes, especially rattlesnakes. But any other time of the year, there's a good chance of you having an encounter with a rattlesnake. And so what I have grown accustomed to doing when I go out and I venture off and explore Route 66, I wear snake boots, and they come all the way up to my knee. And that's my tip of the week, is to prepare yourself with certain apparel when you go out on Route 66 so that you're prepared for the elements, whether that be sunscreen, long sleeve shirts, a sun hat. You guys probably see me wearing a goofy sun hat every once in a while in my pictures. That's to keep me from getting skin cancer. And more importantly than anything, if you're planning on or you're planning on getting off of the pavement and going out exploring some of these old motels or anything, these old abandoned buildings, you want snake boots or what they call snake chaps. Protect yourself. Those rattlesnakes, that rattlesnake in particular, I'll admit it, we jacked with them a little bit, but man, we were lucky. If that snake had gotten any of us where we were in a place called Delia, New Mexico, which that was, believe it or not, that was a dirt alignment of Route 66 that we were exploring. And if any of us had gotten bit by that guy, I think we would have died, because we had hardly any cell phone reception. It would have taken airlift to get us to Santa Fe or Albuquerque, and I just don't think it would have happened. So yeah, and poor Kyle there, the cameraman at the time, it was kind of funny. I wish I had it on video. I was driving the adventure truck, and he was hanging on to the back of the adventure truck, driving along, and I come to a stop, and he goes to jump off, and then I see him clutching and clawing himself onto the adventure truck. I've got a big luggage rack on the top for carrying stuff, and he's hanging off the truck. And I said, "Man, what the hell is wrong with you, Kyle?" And he's like, look. He almost jumped on that snake when he jumped off the truck. That's when we decided to film it. So that's my tip of the week. What do you guys think about that snake?
No to the
I don't know,
no,
but
no.
Jorge is asking if he's really on 66.
Jorge asked if that was on 66.
He asked if the snake was really on 66.
It was. That
He's
snake
poking
was
fun at
totally on Route 66. That was the dirt alignment of Route 66. One of these days, maybe I'll release a video on that exploration. But yes, that was Route 66, heading to Santa Fe from Santa Rosa.
I've never seen a rattlesnake. The only snake I've encountered on Route 66 was that copperhead at John's.
That you so nicely pointed out, or we would have all been crazy. Yeah,
He's off in snake heaven now, right?
yeah, like Rich walked one way, I walked the other way, and Elizabeth's in the middle going, "Hey, what kind of snake is that?" And we're like, "What snake?"
That was a dead snake.
Rich?
Hey, I'm from Missouri. I'll tell you right now, copperheads, just like that rattlesnake, copperheads unprovoked are some of the most aggressive snakes there are. They will come after you. I've had them come after me so many times when I was a kid. I don't mess around with them. I take them out. They're real nasty. Rodney from that TV show I used to work with, Small Town Big Deal, he got bit in the hand by a baby copperhead, and that little sucker let him have it, and it turned his whole arm black.
Oh my God.
I mean, you just don't mess with those things. You just take them out. They're nasty.
I haven't had any other run-ins with snakes, but after the Texas Motor Tour last year, we all kind of headed down to Tucumcari, New Mexico, and we stayed at the Motel Safari. And so that the next day, we all went out exploring, and was with Rob Medlin and Mike Baloff, Scott, myself, and Rosemary from we all headed out, and we walked down. I don't even know which section of 66 it was, but Rob Medlin, he's out and trying to find the most obscure places too. So we're walking around, and all of a sudden I look down, and there's this really cool rock, and I did not see anything else. I just saw this rock. Literally went and stuck my hand down to pick up the rock, and Scott grabbed my shoulder, and there was a tarantula sitting like literally 2.5 inches from this rock I was picking up, and I seriously didn't even see it. I don't even know when it got there. I just know that it was there, and Scott's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing now. I'm grabbing that rock."
I would much rather see a tarantula than a copperhead or a rattlesnake. A tarantula ain't gonna hurt you.
Absolutely, but it was just one of those very startling, like, holy crap. Like, that's the first time I'd seen one like in the wild, I guess you'd say. But
sure. Are you guys ready for the picture of the week?
Is it a tarantula?
Yeah.
I wish. Let's do the picture of the week. I'm doing this off the fly. I prepared for this show for about 30 minutes today, so I'm doing pretty good, I think. What do you guys think out there? I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah, this is
I
fun.
think so.
Yeah, there is. Let me take that chat off for a second. There is picture of the week. That is from Pat Bremer. This is in Lexington, Illinois. This is a comparison photo from 2013 to 2023 with their grandson, Jameson. And I think this is great. Just look at the brush, how it's grown up over the course of 10 years. It's amazing how Mother Nature reclaims Route 66.
Pretty cool.
And little Jameson there looks like he's growing up into being a fine young man. Looks like he's thrilled to be out there on memory lane in Lexington, Illinois. Not that any picture is better than the other, but there was another good one here from Tim Berglund, the Chemo Theater. I thought this one was really good. I like that picture. It's fun to explore Albuquerque, and the Chemo is a very colorful, palatial style theater. And there's a lot of other great attractions down there in downtown Albuquerque as well. And then I thought there was, this one right here. This is from Brandon again. I think he and his wife contribute quite a bit of pictures. This is in Winona, Arizona, one of my favorite bridges. It's been orphaned there for a long time. What really makes this picture good is the amount of encroachment from the grass, and you got those big pillowy clouds, the blue sky contrasting with the red pavement. I really, really like this image. Thank you, everyone, for contributing those. And if you would like to have your photo featured, just throw it up there in our Facebook group, 66 Minutes with Roamin Rich. And I'm sure at some point I'll take a look at it and get it on the air. Those were all great images. Thanks, everyone, for contributing those. Any comments from the three of you on those pictures?
Absolutely. I love the one in Winona. I agree. It's a beautiful photo, and I love those big billowy clouds. That's one of my favorite parts, like heading out towards the trading post in Arizona. Just standing there watching them. They just don't move. It's kind of crazy. As far as the memory lane picture, I had actually just brought up to the last year during the Missouri Motor Tour, I brought up to some of the Illinois Association members about actually going out and doing a cleanup work day out there. And I just talked to John Weiss about that, literally at the red carpet corridor. And he had an interesting approach or a thought process on it. I'm thinking, hey, that'd be great. Let's get down there. Let's get some in the fall, because you can see there's a lot of dead branches and stuff and a lot of tinder, and that's right by a railroad track. So it would not take much to let a spark off there and the whole thing would be wiped out. So I suggested getting together and doing that. And John Weiss kind of had his own thought process on it. And he says that over the years of his many, many, many decades of and years of doing preservation projects, he says that he finds that if the little towns will, how did he put that? Basically that if he goes and does it, they just kind of let him. But he has found that if he backs off, that the little towns will actually pick up the slack and actually start doing things. So that's an
I agree with him. John's done a ton of great work.
Mhm.
He and his late wife just devoted their entire lives to Route 66 through Illinois, and have done a fantastic job. And hats off to them for everything they've done, because I know their work was definitely inspirational to me and others. So I have to get John on the show one day, and he can talk about all the great accomplishments and everything that they've done there in Illinois. That'd be a good show. I almost forgot, and I got to thinking there about Pat Remmer and Jameson and their picture, but I had my boys on the show last week, and we talked about pictures. And so Cyrus, my youngest son, he drew this for us last week, this Route 66 shield, and he did a really good job. I think he does a better job of drawing a Route 66 shield than I do. And so this was from Cyrus last week. Everybody say thank you, Cyrus, for the great picture, and I'm sure he'll be
Thanks,
Good
Cyrus.
job.
turning all red.
Thank you, Cyrus.
It's
That's
amazing.
awesome.
You did a great job.
Yeah. Something else I want to mention, we were working on the website. And so for those of you who are not aware, this show is now being broadcasted live on my website. So you can go check it out right now. It's hookedonroute66.com. In addition to that, I've been going through and finding some of my oldest videos that I don't have on YouTube. I have them other places and mostly on Facebook. But once they're in Facebook, they kind of go stale after a week or two. So when they're years old, nobody can really find them. So I've been going through and digging those photos up. I just want to kind of show you guys this real quick. Let me see here. Let's see. I want that. Maybe let's try. Uh-oh. Let's see. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. So we got the website up and going again. We're slowly working on it. And there it is. That's what I want. Okay. I'm going to drop that chat out just to make that bigger. So let's go to the home screen. There's the new Hooked on Route 66 page. If we scroll down, it's probably not showing right now. Up there it is. There's the broadcast right there at the bottom of the screen. And if you happen to miss episodes, you can go down and check out all the episodes below. But if you want to go see some cool old videos that I've done over the years, and I'm gonna start putting more and more of these out on a weekly basis. I did like 6 or 8 last night. Go to Rich's Secret Video Stash, right up there at the top, Video Stash, and you can click. A lot of these are short videos. Some of them are longer, but you can click on any of these videos from over the years. And first, they tell a quick little story. Do you want to see where Route 66 really ended? Most people think it ends at the Santa Monica Pier. It doesn't. And if you want to know more about that, go to the website, check it out. And there'll be a quick little video from about 6 or 7 years ago I shot that shows you exactly where the original end of Route 66 is in downtown Los Angeles. Again, that's hookedonroute66.com. I'm pretty excited to share all that with all the viewers out there, because I know for years I've had a lot of people complain that I was putting a lot of content on Facebook and not putting much on YouTube. And sometimes people don't deal with Facebook. So if you don't like Facebook, check out the website, hookedonroute66.com, and then you can see all those great videos, and I'll add more every week. Okay. I didn't see any other questions. I think, Jorge, every week Jorge has to ask me about one of my signs, whether or not I'll sell one. And I do have one of my signs for sale, Jorge. It won't be cheap. And it's a big sign. It's about 4 foot square. It came from the Bill Shays Museum in Springfield, Illinois. It's an actual Route 66 sign. It's been slightly modified by Bill Shay. Anyone who's interested, you can hit me up on Facebook or email or anything else. If you want the sign, you'll figure out how to get a hold of me. Let's put it that way, right? So if anyone's interested, probably going to take $1,500 to get that sign from me. So just let me know.
And I was going to pick on Jorge and just tell him that you sold me a sign just to get his goat a little.
Oh.
Because I think that'd be funny.
I mean, I have one of Rich's signs in my apartment sitting on my shelf
Yeah,
over
are you
here.
gonna show him?
What's
You gonna
that?
show him? Wait a second. I didn't give you that sign, Elizabeth.
What do you mean? Yes, you did.
Did
Okay.
I thought Billy gave you that sign.
Well, I mean, technically, I don't know if I took it or, he,
Oh, you stole the sign.
yeah, or if he, no, no, okay. Billy gave it to me.
Option.
What's that?
I didn't know that was an option, stealing a sign.
Well, I mean, I guess I just figured with all the hard work I was doing, it was worth a sign.
We've talked about this in previous episodes, I think.
No, I honestly can't remember if it was you or Billy that gave it to me, but it has proudly moved from like 3 apartments now with me, and I just haven't hung it on my wall here yet. But it's displayed.
You don't have it up.
What's that?
Maybe Rita can help you get it up.
No comment, Rich.
Come on, Rita. What do you say?
I'm trying to behave. Good. Is it a green and yellow sign, Elizabeth?
No, it's the green one with the yellow writing.
Is it green and yellow?
I don't have one to show you. The one I have is bolted to my door in my apartment upstairs. I've got an extra one or two, I think, laying around. I'll bring one of those out maybe next time and show it to everybody. That way they can see one of the old Shamrock signs. I think Billy's dad probably bought that in the early 50s when they purchased the motel, because they were pretty gung-ho when they bought that motel. They bought boxes of postcards, which we found. They bought signs to post up around the town. They were into that place when they first bought it. And, I've got some of those signs left. It just says Shamrock, Sullivan, Missouri. And I think it says reasonable rates on it too.
Yeah. And it's got AAA's logo on it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Sullivan, Missouri. Yeah. Mine's hanging proudly on a wall.
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
Hey, Rich.
Yeah, John, what you got?
Do you have another Shamrock event coming up this year? Kind of like the relighting ceremony last year?
I'm glad you asked that, because that's part of the exciting news. I was sitting here trying to drum up a picture of that sign for Jorge, and I will get one before the end of the segment. So last week, we were given the green light from the National Park Service to start our modifications and preservation efforts on the Shamrock as it pertains to plumbing, electrical, air conditioning, and we have some floor plan adjustments. So yes, what did I say, Elizabeth and Rita, like June 12th or something like that? I want to try to do a work week out there.
Yeah, the week of the 12th.
Week of the 12th. Yeah. So yeah, the week of the 12th in June, we want to do a work week out there. We're going to be tearing down some walls. We're going to be doing some cleanup. There's not much digging left. Rita and Elizabeth, Bill Giddings, and Mitch Johnson all helped me out with hauling 75 tons of dirt out of that building over the course of about a month. And so we got all the digging done for the most part. There's not much digging left to do. And so at any rate, there's just a lot of cleanup. There's some painting that needs to be done. There's some tile removal. There's a lot of demolition that needs to be done still. So we're going to have a big dumpster there, probably fill it up once or twice over the course of the week. And it's time. It's go time. I'm glad you asked.
Are you pouring concrete?
It's go time. We won't be pouring any concrete yet. That'll happen later on this year.
But
we got to get the plumbing put in. We got to get the electrical done. My electrician started this week on the electrical work. He's already got new services almost done and ready. He's got to put new panels in. He's pulled out almost all the wiring out of the attic. And for those of you who are scared of the attic, there is some cleanup up there, but I had the attic professionally vacuumed out of all the insulation and nasty stuff. So now there's just a little bit of debris up there that needs to be cleaned out. And the attic is lit up nice and bright. and I'm about 6'4", and I can walk up in there almost fully upright. So for those of you who are interested in coming down, just plan right now on about June the 12th, the week of the 12th. Let's see here.
Now, Rita, are you going to join us?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
We would like for you to. Are you still mad at me because I didn't let you come down a couple of weeks ago when we were doing work?
I'm not mad at you. Why would I be mad at you?
Somebody asked if I have a date in mind for when we'll open the Shamrock. Honestly, at this point, Tim, it's solely financially willing. If I got the money, I'm going to keep going with it. If I don't, then I got to stop, but I'd like to get it open by next year. And once that electric and plumbing goes in, I truly feel we're on the downhill side of things to where we're going to start getting a whole lot of stuff done in there. And who knows, we could open up a gift shop, maybe even this year, possibly. I did find a sign for our special friend Jorge, and I'm going to share it with him on the picture of the sign. Let's get that going here. Let's see. I'm going to move the chat out of the way again. Right there, Jorge, that Illinois 66 sign. It says Exit 66 Shea Stadium, and it has a little brown sign on it. Now imagine, if you will, the Exit 66 and the Shea Stadium. Imagine that being gone, and imagine that little brown sign being gone. I don't know if my arrow will pick up this guy right here. Imagine that being gone, and imagine this up here being gone. This would have been telling motorists where to exit to get off for Illinois 66. And that was out of the Springfield area. That is the sign that I would like to sell. It's about 48 inches square. And honestly, ideally, it would be made into a table or something like with an epoxy covering. I've done several signs like that where I've encapsulated them in epoxy, and it's worked out really well. That sign is kind of fragile. It's got that reflective coating on the front of it, starting to fade a little, but not fade. It's starting to kind of spall up and chip a little bit. So I've kept it in a climate-controlled atmosphere since 2015. That's when I that's when I picked it up at the auction.
How old is it?
How old is it?
Yeah.
I would say it dates back to probably the 50s, 60s. I can't tell you where it was at. And I can't tell you much about it. All I can tell you is the Route 66 era sign, and it says Illinois 66 on it. So it's a highway sign. I can't tell you if it was on the interstate or not. I can't tell you exactly where it came from. Bill Shea's son, who's still alive, he may have some information on it. I can talk to him about the provenance of that sign, but it is an era specific Illinois 66 sign.
Rich, you were talking about recovering some videos, older ones, to put on YouTube. A while back, I was looking for one where I don't know if I saw it on Facebook or YouTube, but I thought it was kind of cool. You were down in a Texas town on one of these, what do you call them, a hoverboard, these electric skateboards. And
yeah, my one wheel.
Yeah, one wheel, kind of just going through the town, little old town, had gone to bed for the night. And I just thought that was really cool. And I'm interested in finding that and some more videos like that, because it was just relaxing.
So that video that you're talking about, they wanted to lynch me for. Literally, I had murder threats for that video. I posted that live on Facebook. I will be putting that on the website probably this week. It's a really good video, but that video does exist on YouTube. I did take that video, and it was so well received by the town of McLean, Texas, that I decided to go ahead and put it on YouTube as well. So you can find that video on YouTube, McLean, Texas. I think it was called Exploring McLean, Texas at Night on a one wheel.
Okay.
But I'll put it up on the website too.
Now, what kind of camera did you use doing that?
What's that?
Were you using a GoPro, or what kind of a camera was it a video camera?
I don't remember. I think I was using a cell phone with a gimbal, if memory serves.
Okay.
Yep. I think I was using a cell phone with a gimbal. I don't remember. I think that was 2018 when I shot that. I could have been using a Sony handheld camera. I really don't remember, honestly.
Do you ever use
but
GoPros?
I think it was what's that?
Do you ever use GoPros?
Nope, I never used GoPros. I tried them out a long time ago, and I know they've come a long way, but really the point I'm at in life is that I don't have much time to mess with post-processing and video creation. That's why I brought 66 minutes together, because it's so much easier for me to just do things live and on the fly now, and I can pull stuff from my archive. This is something I can do to contribute on a weekly basis without having to agonize for hours and hours and hours over post. And I mean, I've got so many videos. I could produce videos for years and never shoot anything new, but I just don't have time to do it. So kind of stopped.
So, not to change the subject, but Rita, if you do come into town, that week, I told Rich that Thursday, Joe and I are giving a presentation at a bookstore in the city that you two will have to take a break from your cleaning at the Shamrock and join us.
It might be a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, guys. My dinner's ready. We're past 106. We're past an hour and 6 minutes. We're actually at an hour and 11 minutes. I don't want to set any records tonight. So thank you, John, Rita, and Elizabeth, for coming on tonight. I appreciate that. And it's been a great show. Really loved it. And, probably for all the audience participation today, whoever mentioned Meteor Crater, I think that was a good one, man. That was another one that if you're doing Route 66 and you don't swing by to do Meteor Crater, which is about 3 or 4 miles south of 66, then you're doing yourself a disservice. But any other tips briefly that you guys can mention to the audience out there? Nothing? Great.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to sign you guys off, and then I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Right.
Thanks, Rich.
You.
See ya. Okay. Well, great show. I hope you all enjoyed it. Feel free to donate right up there. Click on that QR code. It should take you to the website. And while you're visiting the website, check out that video stash, hookedonroute66.com. I'd love to see your thoughts on that next week on the show. I'm not sure if I'll have a show next week with a guest. Actually, I'm not sure that I'll have a live show at all next week because let's see here. Look at my calendar. Next week, I am on vacation with my lovely wife. It is our wedding anniversary, and we celebrate that next weekend. So might not have a show next week. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But we will have something to show you guys next week for sure. Just don't know what it is. Anyway, send me your comments, send me your suggestions, recommendations, post all that stuff in the Facebook group, 66 Minutes. I would love to see it. And above all, go your own way. See you guys down the road.